Hello everyone, my name is Jennifer and welcome to Best Kept Plans. Today's video is going to be a budget with me for the paycheck that I will be receiving on May 25th, 2023 using the printable version of the Budget by Paycheck Workbook from the Budget Mom. If you're interested in seeing that, please stick around. So here we are in the monthly spread for May in my Budget by Paycheck workbook. We're budgeting for the paycheck that I'm receiving on the 25th. I'm actually filming this a little early. I'm filming this on the 18th. So that's why some of the bills that I paid with my last paycheck haven't been checked off yet. For the paycheck on the 25th, we are paying a couple of bills in May. We're also paying some bills that are due in June. We have some savings challenges to think about. And so if I bring you over to my paycheck budget tracker, you're going to see that I am using $3,100 to budget my income. I've been doing that for the majority of the year and it's been working really well for me. When I bring you over to the bill section, we do have my church contribution and my Audible for May. The rest of the bills are for June. I always budget church for $20. I budget Audible for $16. I'm actually thinking about getting rid of Audible. I have been listening to audiobooks this year, but I do feel like Audible is a little bit pricey for me. I am fortunate enough to be a part of NetGalley, and so oftentimes I find that I'm actually just listening to audiobooks on NetGalley anyways. So I think I might get rid of Audible and contemplate getting Kindle Unlimited instead. We'll see what happens with that. Rent, I'm budgeting $600. That's my rent for June. My gym membership for $65. My Spotify for $11. Now, I am doing some savings challenges this year. I am actually pulling from old savings challenges from the Budget Mom to use in 2023. And for May, I pulled two different challenges, one of which I do have to take from my paycheck. So that's why that $45 is listed here. Now, if I bring you on down, all of my bills do add up to $757. And if I subtract that from the $3,100 I'm budgeting my income to be, I'm left with $2,343, which is what I'm bringing down to the envelope section. Now, the envelope section is also called the variable expense section. This is for things that you know you're going to spend money on throughout your pay period, but you don't know how much you're going to spend. So for me, these categories always stay the same. The budgeted amounts always stay the same, but for other people, these might change. But I always budget $200 for groceries, $100 for eating out, $75 for gas, $175 for miscellaneous. And if I add all of those categories together, it does equal $550. And if I subtract that from the $2,343 I was left with after paying my bills, I do have $1,793 that I'm bringing over to the sinking fund section. Now, if you watched my last combined budget with me cash envelope stuffing, you'll know that I'm actually pushing a good amount of money into my travel sinking fund right now. I basically met goal on all of my 2023 sinking funds already, except for the two sinking funds that I don't have a goal for, my rolling sinking funds, which are travel and giving. Basically, I always contribute to these two sinking funds no matter what. That way, whenever it is that I want to go on a trip or I want to give to a charity, I have money set aside already to do that or to contribute to that. I did go see my sister in late April. I did stay at a hotel. I still haven't pulled the cash out of my travel sinking fund to pay that bill, and I really do need to do that. But since that last budget with me cash envelope stuffing, I actually did book a trip. Me and my friend wanted to go away towards the end of July into early August. Not a long trip. We were thinking like 4 or 5 days. We were actually planning on going north, but prices for hotels north of us are insanely expensive. So we ended up looking at several different areas south of us, and it was definitely going to be cheaper. Obviously, it's super hot down in the southern states in July and August, and so that's why it is going to be cheaper. And so my friend and we were like trying to figure out where made sense and what was cost effective and all of that. And my friend was like, Jennifer, why don't you just book it? I'd love it if you just figured out what you want, where you wanted to go, or where you wanted us to go, where was going to be cheap for us but still staying at a nice place. figure it out and book it and surprise me. I want to know when we get to the airport. And so that's exactly what I did. I found a really, really good deal. We're going away for 5 days, 4 nights. It's basically costing us like $565 each with airfare and hotel, which I think is pretty good. So I'm super happy about finding that deal, and the fact that that's actually about $100 cheaper than it would have been for just a hotel if we were staying north of us. So definitely making out a little bit better by going somewhere down south. And I'm not going to say where because I don't know if she watches my videos, but if she does, I don't want it to be spoiled for her. So with that trip in mind, but also with the idea that I kind of do want to go on some type of European trip before I have a kid, and I'd like to maybe have a kid within the next 4 years, I'm kind of pushing some extra cash towards travel right now. I haven't bought a house yet. I'm still actively looking. Yes, I could be starting my house emergency fund. That's probably a much better use of my money, but I also want to feel like I'm setting up for myself to be able to enjoy some travel and some trips and some time with family and friends before I kind of settle into a more domestic life. And so, you know, I have my house savings, I have an emergency fund, I have some other cash put aside. I feel like for me right now, I want to contribute to travel. So I'm putting $450 into my travel sinking fund. I'm also going to be putting the usual $50 into giving. So $500 is going towards my sinking funds in total for this paycheck, which means that we're left with $1,293 after contributing to sinking funds. Now, my priorities, because I really, really want to buy a house as soon as possible, are to put more money towards house savings, but I'm also trying to actively pay off my car. So I am going to put $293 towards my car with this paycheck, but $1,000 is going towards my house savings. And after those two contributions, we are left with $0. Now, if I turn this over and zoom you all out, we will take a look at my cash envelope breakdown. So basically, I did have my savings challenges in mind when I put this breakdown together. I do have some penciled in numbers here, and that's kind of what I use to make sure I'm picking the right denominations. So for one of my savings challenges, I'm taking $33 out of eating out, and for another one, I'm taking $63 out of miscellaneous. So I need to make sure my denominations line up for that. With that being said, eating out is getting its usual $100, and I'm doing that in a 50, a 20, a 10, 3 5s, and 5 singles. Gas is getting its usual $75, and I'm doing that in the denominations I would normally, which is a $50 bill, a 20, and a 5. Miscellaneous is getting $175, but we're going to do that in a $100 bill, a $50 bill, a 10, 2 5s, and 5 singles. Now, I don't have eating out listed here because I buy groceries online, and so I pay for my groceries online. So it doesn't really make any sense for me to pull that money out in cash. So I actually have a separate checking account that I put that money into every time I get paid. I'm just realizing there's ink all over my hands because I just filmed a plant with me. For my sinking funds, I'm going to use largest denominations possible. So for travel, that's going to be 400s and a 50, and for giving out, it's a single $50 bill. Rent, I always do 300s and 650s. And then for this 2023 savings challenge, it's $45, so I'm doing 220s and a 5. All of these added up together equal $1,495. And so that's going to be what I'm going to withdraw from my bank account when I get paid on the 25th. And you will see me stuffing that cash into my envelopes when I post my cash envelope stuffing for this paycheck on Saturday. And that's going to be it for my budget with me for this paycheck. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you have any questions about the way that I budget, about the way that I use the Budget by Paycheck workbook from the Budget Mom, how I use a printable version of the Budget by Paycheck workbook, please don't hesitate to put them down below. And as always, everyone, please be safe. Bye-bye.